The ghostly choir. I've always been fascinated by abandoned places, the hushed stories they tell, their decaying grandeur that once thrived with life. Among all the places I've explored, none were as compelling or as eerie as the old Whitlock Asylum. It was a foreboding monolith of stone and despair that sat broodingly atop the lonely hill of our small town, which was, as per local legends, haunted by the ghostly choir. The ghostly choir was said to be a collection of ethereal spirits of patients who were once part of the asylum's choir. Legend said that on certain nights their spectral songs could still be heard, echoing through the desolate hallways. A part of me was skeptical, but another part, the curious explorer, couldn't resist the allure of this spine-chilling tale. One night, armed with my flashlight, camera, and the thrill of anticipation, I set foot into the asylum. The cold iron gate creaked hauntingly, a prelude to the symphony of unease that lay beyond. The asylum was eerily silent, the desolate hallways stretching into the darkness, a testament to the years of neglect. As I walked through the shadowy labyrinth, each room whispered tales of forgotten souls. The atmosphere was heavy with an inexplicable melancholy, a sense of an indescribable, lingering presence. It was eerily quiet until I reached the old music hall, a cavernous room filled with dilapidated seats and a grand, dust-covered piano on a crumbling stage. Suddenly, a cold wind swept across the room, and the feeble candlelight flickered, casting monstrous shadows on the walls. The silence was then broken by a soft hum. It was distant, almost inaudible, but unmistakably a melody, a choir. The spectral harmony grew louder, resonating through the hollow hallways, a sorrowful yet beautiful composition. The melody hung in the air, so chillingly real yet so ethereal. I followed the ghostly chorus to a room at the far end of the hall, the door slightly ajar. As I pushed it open, the room was revealed. It was an old patient's room, small with peeling wallpaper and an old rusted bed. The singing seemed to emanate from here, growing in intensity, wrapping around me like a mournful shroud. My heartbeat pounded in my ears, but I stood frozen, my skin prickling with the cold touch of fear. The choir was now a full-bodied symphony, rising and falling in spectral waves. The room then became unbearably cold, my breaths visible in the ghostly light. Suddenly the room filled with a blinding, unearthly light, and for a moment I saw them. Ethereal figures huddled together, singing a lament of forgotten lives and lost sanity. Then, as suddenly as they appeared, they vanished, and the light faded, leaving only the echo of their song, a haunting whisper on the wind. As the spectral harmony ebbed away, I was left standing in the darkness, a cold dread settling in my bones. It was chilling, it was terrifying, but it was also heartbreaking. The ghostly choir was not a tale of horror, but a story of lost souls clinging to the only solace they had known: music. I left the asylum that night with a profound respect for the spirits dwelling within its walls. They were no malevolent specters, only tragic figures forever etching their tale in ghostly song. From that night forward, the old Whitlock Asylum wasn't just an abandoned building on the hill. It was a haunting monument to the ghostly choir, forever singing in the shadowy corners of our town.